My family expected me to cover up what my brother did to his daughter, so I showed the cops the footage instead. My older brother Garrett treated me like his personal babysitter from the moment his girlfriend got pregnant. It didn't matter if I had exams, work commitments, or my own life. Watching his daughter Ivy always came first, and he expected me to just accept that reality without question or complaint. Garrett's entitlement started before Ivy was even born. He showed up at my apartment one evening with this massive binder, the kind you'd use for a major business presentation, not childcare. Inside were detailed spreadsheets with my babysitting shifts already mapped out in color-coded blocks that covered the next 2 years. Tuesday and Thursday nights were mine because those were his gym sessions with his personal trainer. Saturday mornings so he could sleep off his Friday nights out drinking. Christmas Eve had all-day coverage written in red marker across the entire box. New Year's Eve was blocked out completely with a note saying he had important plans. I actually started laughing when I saw the schedule, thinking this was his twisted idea of a joke or some kind of prank, but his face remained completely serious as he slid the binder across my kitchen table toward me with both hands. "I need to know you're fully committed to this arrangement," he said, like we were negotiating some legally binding contract. The following week, he posted on Facebook about how blessed he was to have such supportive family members. He tagged me in this lengthy post about how I'd already volunteered to help raise Ivy and be an active part of her life from day one. My phone immediately exploded with notifications from relatives commenting about what an amazing uncle I'd be to this baby. Grandma Betty wrote these long paragraphs about the importance of family bonds and helping each other through life's biggest challenges. Cousin Julie shared the post, saying she wished she'd had that kind of family support when her kids were born years ago. Uncle Philip commented about how proud our dad would have been to see us working together like brothers should. When I called Garrett later asking what the hell he was thinking posting that without my actual permission, he said Mom already knew about our arrangement and had approved everything between them. And she actually did know about it. She called me that same night reminding me that family always helps family no matter what, using that specific disappointed tone she'd perfected over 3 decades of parenting. After Ivy was born, things escalated from merely annoying to completely insane within just a few months of her arrival. When Ivy was 8 months old, Garrett showed up at my office right in the middle of a crucial client presentation I'd been preparing for weeks. The receptionist knocked urgently on the conference room door and mouthed the word emergency with genuine panic written across her face. My heart immediately dropped to my stomach thinking something truly terrible had happened to someone in our family, or that there'd been some kind of accident. That emergency turned out to be Garrett standing casually in the lobby with Ivy strapped in her car seat, scrolling mindlessly through his phone like he was just waiting for a coffee order instead of completely disrupting my entire workday. He glanced up when he saw me approaching and said his timing was actually perfect because his barber appointment was scheduled in 15 minutes and he really didn't want to be late for his monthly haircut. Before I could even process what was happening or form any kind of coherent response, he was already out the front door and halfway across the parking lot, leaving me standing there holding a baby. 12 extremely confused clients stared at me through the glass conference room walls while I stood frozen in the lobby. But even that ridiculous incident wasn't the breaking point that finally pushed me over the edge and made me realize how insane this situation had become. My college roommate was getting married at this beautiful vineyard venue, and I was honored to be his best man standing beside him. The location was stunning with string lights wrapped around old oak trees and white roses arranged perfectly along every surface you could see. I was standing right next to the groom in my rented tuxedo, adjusting his tie, when I suddenly heard crying coming from the parking lot behind us, making everyone turn around to look at the source of the noise. There was Garrett, pushing Ivy's stroller awkwardly across the gravel parking lot in his dress shoes, the wheels catching on rocks with every single step forward. He walked right up to me during the processional music and handed me a folded note that simply said, "Handle this situation because I have a date tonight," then turned around and walked away without another word of explanation. Ivy was absolutely screaming at the top of her lungs, her face bright red and tears streaming down both cheeks in obvious distress and terror. That's when I noticed something that made my blood run cold. There were these distinct finger-shaped bruises on her tiny arms that looked exactly like someone had grabbed her way too hard. Full story on my channel and linked below.